How you doing? So for today's video, I thought I would finally do my Q&A video that you guys have been asking for absolutely ages, and I keep forgetting to film it. So sorry about that. But yeah, today it's finally happening, and I thought, you know, to do a little bit differently, I thought I'd do a little video while I draw, instead of you having to deal with my face. So I'm gonna be trying to draw and talk at the same time, and yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy. So I've been recently doing a lot of little like scribbles and sketches of this new character that I kind of came up with called Ella, and yeah, I've been really obsessed with... Ooh, let me just put that in focus. Yeah, I've been really obsessed with drawing her a lot. So yeah, I'm just gonna be drawing some stuff with my little two pencils. They're my favorite Castell Polychromos, and these are like two of my favorite colors that I love sketching with. It's this red, dark red, and cobalt turquoise. So these two is normally what I go with. So yeah, let's like get right on into it. So let's start off with some questions. I asked for you guys to send me some both art related questions and like any random questions you might have. So the first question I've got here, hey Piper, I love your channel. Hi Lolo, thank you. Congrats on 50k. Quick question, what are your plans for after college? Also, do you plan on getting any more tattoos done? Hi Lolo, thank you so much. Yeah, I actually have a plan for after college, because for anyone that doesn't know, I'm studying animation at uni, and basically there's this studio in London called Blue Zoo Studios, and they're an animation studio, and I first heard of them when I went to MAF, Manchester Animation Festival, to yeah, just they were doing a talk there, and I absolutely fell in love with basically everything, like not even just the work they did, but like the atmosphere, the teams, like just everything about it just seemed so amazing and so down my lane in terms of work environments. So definitely a goal of mine is to work for them one day. And there's actually an artist on Instagram that I follow that works at Blue Zoo. I'll put her link in the description because I can't remember her right now, but yeah, I follow her and I love the stuff she does, so it would be a dream to work for them one day. I'm planning on actually doing a summer internship with them next year to, you know, start getting a bit more used to the environment and everything. But yeah, just working on anything in animation after uni would be amazing. And also, do you plan on getting any more tattoos done? At the moment, no. But you know, the thing is with my tattoos is I have tattoos. My tattoos mean like a lot to me. So they mean like stories, not even stories, but like moments in my life. So they represent moments in my life that I like to remember. So yeah, I mean, so far I've got all the tattoos that I want. I don't really have plans to get any more done, so not in the near future, but probably one day I'll have something else I'd want to get on my body. So next question, Ivy Doodles, who inspired you to get into art? I got into art very early, like when I was really young, so at the time I didn't really know many artists, because I started drawing taking drawing more seriously when I was like 11, and it was mainly because my mom wanted me to like explore it a little, because I kind of wasn't taking it seriously. I thought it was just like a little hobby. I'd say that who inspired me was probably my art tutor at the time, my mentor that basically taught me everything I know. His name's João Pedro Rodrigues, and he's an artist back home in Porto who I had classes with when I started taking art seriously, and it was, I don't know, he's like a second dad to me. Love him to death, I owe him. So I'd say probably he inspired me a lot. But in terms of like other kinds of artists, I was always into cartoons and stuff, obviously, as a kid, but I think a little bit more than the average person, the average kid. I grew up on Cartoon Network, and all those kinds of character designs and stuff. So I think so. I'm sorry if that was a weak answer. I don't really know. I don't remember much from that time either, so. Octavio and a bunch of other different people, I got so many of these comments saying, how do you edit your videos? I actually don't spend much time editing my videos. It's very straightforward. I use Premiere Pro on my laptop. Next question. I really like landscapes and ballpoint pen drawings. How do you get inspiration and ideas? It's a good question. Thank you, Anneli. Oh, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that last name. I'm so sorry. How do I get inspiration ideas? I always say this, but Pinterest is my best friend. Sometimes when I'm feeling really uninspired, I just go on Pinterest and just scroll down my feed, and I will 9 times out of 10 find at least like 15 things that I pin to my boards, and I find myself inspired all of a sudden. It's my best friend. Also, another thing that I'd say is to pin up stuff around your workspace, because I have the whole wall just over there in front of me is just covered in art from artists that I love and people that inspire me. I'm gonna make a video about my workspace and my desk area, but I think having your work area surrounded by art inspires you without you realizing it. And yeah, just watching a lot of stuff as well, a lot of new stuff. Ivalala asked, really good drawings, thank you so much. And I was wondering if you always use references, because I can't draw without. So this is a great question, because yeah, like maybe last year or up to last year, I was very reluctant on drawing anything without references, because I was so uncomfortable with drawing the body and the face, because I wasn't used to it. So I always felt the need to have reference pictures. But the problem with reference pictures is that you know, have to credit it, obviously, and you just lack that feel of originality. So I basically took that as okay, I need to learn the body. So I started practicing loads, the human body and the muscles and the physique of it, so I could build my own characters and have them look the way I want them to. I still sometimes use reference pictures when it's like some facial expression that I see that I really want to draw. I will use it, but normally I will use a mirror to find facial expressions of my own. And yeah, doing animation, I've learned a lot about a human figure, and I do a lot of life drawing as well, like once a week, so I've become a lot better at that department. Also, a lot of people ask me if I use reference pictures, so I hope that answers all of you guys' questions. You're a K-pop fan? Are you a K-pop fan? Yes, I am, Uma. I really love your sketches. Thank you so much. Taremi asks, how is all your work so aesthetically pleasing? The key, my friend, is pastel. As you all know, I'm a hoe for pastel, so... Oh, this is a good question. And Nayana asks, this is kind of a weird question, but do you date your sketches, like from when you started or finished your drawing? I date my sketchbooks mainly, so like at the beginning of each sketchbook I'll put when I started the sketchbook and then put the date of when I finished it. And then sometimes like throughout I will put a date. Like I'm trying to find an example. Yeah, so like sometimes when I do like a full spread, I'll put like a little date at the bottom, but I don't really do it like in terms of timestamps. I do it when I do life drawing. I do like how long some sketches took me, so like 7 minutes, blah blah blah. I always do that when I go to life drawing, but other than that, I normally just date my sketchbooks because I fill them up so quick. There's like very little time period where I could, you know, find them. I don't know if that makes sense, but I do like dating my artwork for the same reason, Nayana, because I like looking back and seeing, oh, I did this on this date and look how much I've improved since then. When did you start drawing and painting? I started drawing and painting when I was about 11 years old, seriously, but I had been drawing and painting since I was a little kid, really, because I've always really loved drawing, and my mom always took me to like conferences and stuff when she was away on business, and because we didn't have a nanny, I'd always have to go with my mom, and I'd basically always just sit in the back quietly and draw. So I was an amazing child. Second question, who's your inspiration? Oof, I have so many, honestly. I love so many artists on YouTube, Instagram, whatever. I have so many. So I'll just start by listing my favorites. Tricky Wagon, definitely a huge inspiration for me, especially now that I'm getting into digital drawing and stuff. Love her videos, her art, everything. Love Saruka Tepes. I've got her artwork on my wall. I love her so much. I love Minnie Small, love September Wildflowers. She's called Ruth Spear, but she goes by September Wildflowers on Instagram, so you guys should definitely check out those people. And then I've got some other Drawing with Waffles on YouTube, quite like her a lot. And some other artists, I think her name is Mimori, something on Instagram. Love her drawings as well. She's really young and super talented. But I'll link all the things I mentioned down there in the description, so you guys can go check them all out. So those are some of my inspirations, but I honestly follow so many art people on Instagram, it's ridiculous. Third question, when was your turning point in your life? That is such a great question that I never thought about. The turning point in my life. I'd probably say it was when my parents got divorced and then my mom got cancer, and that's when I started struggling with depression, and I was about 14, 15, and it was, you know, it's a very shaping time of a kid's life, that age. So things that happen in that time can really shape a person, and I feel like my life could have gone down a very bad slope if I hadn't let it. If I had let it, I mean. So I think that, I mean, I do still struggle with anxiety and depression a lot because of it, and you know, it's a condition that I now have, but it was such a struggle, like, for a couple of years. So I don't know, I feel like I learned a lot about how I handle with pain and grief and everything from those years, and I don't think I would you know, be the person I am without it. And you know, a lot of art came out of that as well, from the struggles. So I think that it was a very important turning point in my life. Number 4, list of pens and supplies you use. I always keep those in the description. Every time I make a video, I always post in the description what materials I used in that video, so there you go. Another one. And the last question from her is your favorite art supplies. I feel like that kind of goes in with the number 4, but I love C. White Bride and sketchbooks. That's a big plus. I love Tombow dual brush pens, and the Tombow Fudenoseki brush pens, as well as my my Faber-Castell Pitt artist fine liners. Those are kind of my faves. And then, you know, amongst the other hundreds of art materials I have. What is your number 1 tip for artists that are trying to improve their work? So basically, all artists. Thank you, swan.ce. My number 1 tip for artists trying to improve is to practice. I cannot stress how much importance practice has on your development as an artist, because I think drawing every day is something artists should be aiming or striving to do, because it's like, you know, memory muscle, you know. Like I relate to it so much, because when I have little moments in life when I don't draw as much, or because I've like got deadlines and stuff and I don't draw as much on a daily basis, I feel it like degrading my ability to draw. So I feel like if you have the chance to draw every day, do it, like, for sure. It's so important. That's it, just practice, and do not like compare yourself to other people as well, because that's a thing that a lot of people do that isn't really helpful, and just brings, like, it just makes you take steps back instead of steps forward in terms of your art. Love the art that you're already making, because even if you hate it, like, it's important to your development. So just don't bash it, and don't compare it to other artists' work, because you don't know how much effort and time they've put into that. Artrees asks, how do you manage to be so positive every day and make art consistently? Oh honey. Alright, so I saw this question on my Instagram and I actually laughed because, guys, I'm not positive every day. I really am not. And like, thing is, you guys, with YouTube and with just anything in life, you never know what's going on behind the cameras or behind someone's like smile. I do go through a lot of struggles that you guys don't know about, and honestly, I try to be a positive person, but I'm not always a positive person. So I always try to be positive because it's what my mom taught me to be, but I honestly, I could be more positive. So never assume that someone is, you know, completely great with life and you know, just whizzing through existence, because no one is. Everyone struggles. And also, how do you make art consistently? I just draw every day. Again, again, all my art isn't consistent. I just don't post most of the things that I hate. I have a lot of sketches that I don't post that you guys don't see. But yeah, just drawing every day and drawing stuff that you like is the most important bit, I'd say. Alright, so I just turned on the light in here because it was getting quite dark, so I'm sorry about that. Next question. Superstar Ohia asked, how old are you? I am 19. How did you learn to draw so well? I took some classes at a local artist back home in Porto, and also practice a lot, and I watch a lot of people that inspire me, and I just you know, try and learn from them. She also asked, what tip would you suggest for drawing faces? For drawing faces, I would say draw a lot of skulls, which I know is like a bit of a morbid thing to say, but it's like the best advice I can give, because if you know the basic bone structure and muscle structure of the face, you can like draw any face you want. So I have a little like skull model in my room that I use him sometimes just to like move him around and draw him in different positions. Actually, I'm gonna fetch him for you guys so you can see him. So he used to be white, but I actually painted him in gold acrylic because I thought he'd look a lot cooler. So he's just a little styrofoam skull. I got him at Hobbycraft for like £1, and I feel like he's like super lightweight, so it's great. And yeah, I just sometimes use him as reference, so I just have him like this, or I use them from the bottom just to see kind of like how the skull looks from different angles. And once you know how to do this, you can draw anything, like any sort of face. How do you show lighting in paintings? Well, I mean, depends on what medium you're using, but for example, if I'm using like watercolors, or if I'm like drawing in with ballpoint pen or pencil, I will normally leave out anything that I know is a highlight, and like just not paint it, so leave it white. And that's normally how I do highlights. So next question, Serenus_new asks, how did you discover your art style? What did you do to improve it, and any tips on being motivated and creative? So I feel like it's like a three-part question. So how to discover my art style? I mean, I still really haven't. I'm still trying to discover my art style, to be honest, so I don't know if I can answer that yet. I just kind of started finding out what I like drawing the most, because in the end that's like what's more important, is drawing what you love. So yeah, I found out what I draw loving the most. I love drawing the most, and in what kind of medium and what style, and I just draw it over and over again and perfect it, kind of. So I did this with noses and stuff because I really wanted to improve the way I drew noses, because I wasn't really fond of how I drew noses. So I saw a bunch of artists that I love that draw noses kind of like that kind of look like this instead of looking like this. And I don't know how to explain it. I just used to draw noses very like I don't really know what the word is, but I just didn't really like the way I drew them. So I started in every face that I drew, I started like trying out different types of noses and different shadings and whatever, and I came up with like a style kind of that I liked, and now it's just become second nature when I'm drawing. So all the drawings that I do, I just kind of draw that same type of nose without even thinking about it. Who inspired me to study animation? There is a animator. She is a recent graduate of Edinburgh, I think, if I'm not wrong, Edinburgh School of Art, and she did a animation for her graduation year that is called I think it was like Modern Dating There Again, and I'll link it in the description so you guys can all go see it, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's the exact style of animation that I love, and it's just so pretty, and the colors and the palettes, everything is beautiful. So I saw that animation last year when I was sort of starting to make my decision of what I wanted to do, and I saw that and I was like, oh my god, that's a thing that I can do as a job. And it was like this click, like, yeah, I'm gonna do animation, that's decided. Next one, I feel like we must be coming to an end. Yeah, I don't want this video to be too long, but I feel like it already is. So Alessia asks, what are your suggestions for new content creators starting an art channel on YouTube? That's a great question. I'd say stick to like your true self, like stay true to what you love. Don't try and hop onto bandwagons, and don't try and be someone else, because I've made that mistake, and it just doesn't work out, and it's like, and then you're upset, and then everyone else is upset, and it's just like a bad day for everyone. So I'd say just stick to what you love, because that's what like brings people to your channel. It's like that's what sparks people's attention, is seeing passion. At the end, I mean, I started doing this like as a hobby, like it was a thing that I liked doing. It still is like a hobby for me. I still, you know, still do it because I love it. Oh, also I think something worth mentioning is be consistent. So like and I don't mean in terms of like posting dates and everything, I mean like just in terms of yourself and the content that you're putting out. Mary asks, what is your preferred art media? And she asked again, what inspired me to become an artist? I've already answered that. And how did I want to pursue art? Again, I think I've already answered that. So what's my preferred art media? It kind of changes all the time, because when I change into a different art media, then I start missing the other one, and then I go back to that one, and then it's like I keep going back and forth between my art materials. But the one thing that I think remains consistent is my love for gouache. I absolutely love painting in gouache. It's just such a homely feeling, if that makes any sense. I just love painting in gouache. It's just something that I don't think I'll ever stop loving. And also let me think, biro, so ballpoint pens and like fine liners. It's something that you know, you can just do anywhere on the go. And I think this is the last question, guys. I'm gonna finish the video here because it's getting super long. What is the platform that you like the most? YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, etc. I think the platform I like the most, I'd say, is Instagram, even though like YouTube obviously is you know, where I feel like the most active, I guess. Actually no, I feel like I'm the most active on Instagram, because I post a lot on my Instagram and also on my Instagram stories. So if you are ever curious about what I get up to on my day-to-day life, which is a mess, by the way, just, you know, heads up. It's just hilarious. Yeah, just follow me on Instagram. All my links are always in the description. I just feel like Instagram is really funny, especially because my feed is just memes. So I'm always on Instagram, especially because that's where I follow all of my artists as well. All of my favorite inspirations and artists and stuff, that's where they are. I realized I didn't draw much. I'm sorry about that. I kind of got distracted with talking. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I answered enough of your questions. So yeah. Also, I think it's fair to mention, if you do want me to do another Q&A, leave questions down here or on Instagram or Twitter, and I will answer them. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!